What's up, you guys? Claak here, out with another video, and today we're going to be going over Disc Priest. Now, I have been getting a lot of questions about Disc Priest and what talents we should run, but you got to keep in mind, as we're going over this, in 8.1, which is in 3 days, 3 or 2 days, depending on when you're watching this video, it's out on the 11th? The 11th? Yeah, it's out on the 11th. Disc Priest is going to get nerfed, and Holy Priest could be the new meta, but we're going to have to wait to find out. But let's go ahead and hop into this video. And before we hop into this video, make sure to go check out my Twitch and hit me up with that Twitch Prime. Please go there. It's right there. Just right there, dude. Go there. Okay, let's hop into the first talents. This is like a default talents that I normally run if I'm facing a comp that is kind of like a dampener comp. Like for instance, if you're facing like Outplay or something, you know, that's just simply just going to be a long game. This is the build I run, and basically how it works is you spam smites, and then once you get your smites up, you go ahead and penance your allies, and that's pretty much how you heal. So literally, I just get a penance. And then when I smite something, every time I smite, it takes 1 second off of my penance, and it allows me to, you know, get a shorter cooldown on my penance, which is going to be your biggest heal. Now, this is my second build right here. This is kind of like the games are going to be really quick and they're not going to be dampener. It's pretty much the opposite of what we just looked at. Now, the difference here is we run Ultimate Radiance and Premonition. And again, this is for like RMPs, jungles, cupids, anything that you're going to be like, oh shit, you're going to be in CC, and when you come out of CC, you're going to need to be able to top your teammates off, meaning aka Ultimate Radiance, and you're going to have Prem to try to get out of CCs like Trap and Polymorph. Now, here I run Twist of Fate because when you get that low, your teammates are going to guaranteed always get below like 35%, always against those comps, and you know, when you run this is actually going to help out tremendously. Now, I'm going to show you a third build, a build that I run when I face comps like Turbo, and you know, I know they're gonna go me. I know they're gonna try to kill me. So this is the build I try to run when they try to go me. So here is my third build. This is the more tanky build again, and basically how it works is I run Masochism. So basically you're not gonna be able to get a fear if you're being slowed the whole time and the enemy healer is able to run away. You're literally gonna be like this. You're gonna be walking towards them at this speed, and like good luck getting a fear right there. And the enemy team is just going to be training you, so it's going to be really hard. So you're going to want to be behind pillar most of the time, just playing as defensive as possible. The only time you would ever get a fear on a healer is if he comes towards you and, you know, you're able to get a fear on him just because he's LOS. Like, so basically the idea is when you LOS the enemy team has to come back to you to kill you, and eventually the healer might come towards you as well, and that's how you'll get the fear. So running Masochism is going to be huge because you're taking 10% less damage, and plus it actually puts like a mini hot on you that heals. And another really nice thing that I try to run is Shining Force. This is a huge knockback. This is bigger than like, you know, the Elemental Shamans like Thunderfuck, or this is just as big probably as the Hunter Trap Explosive. This is huge. It will knock them away. If you're on a map like Blades Edge Arena and you're on the top, you're able to knock them off, and it'll pretty much screw their go. So try to use this in between your cooldowns, and if you rotate that well enough, you should be able to survive almost anything, to be honest with you. And another thing to keep in mind, when the enemy team is training you, try your best to keep up your Purge of Wicked onto the double DPS, because that does heal a decent amount. That is the thing that's going to keep you alive when you're stunned and stuff like that. That's going to help out a lot. And for the 3 talents that I do run against the teams that do train me is Ultimate Radiance, Archangel, and Dome. I try to save Dome for the biggest goes, So if you're facing like a, again, like a Turbo, you know, and they're popping all the cooldowns and you're in a stun, you know, if you're not in a stun, you would use that. But if you are, you probably just use Pain Suppression and sit that. And you know, that's kind of how you survive. And there's a little rotation, if you didn't know, for Disc Priest that I found. So basically, when an enemy team starts me and they stun right away, I normally just push Pain Suppression. If they pop their damage and they're going hammy and you're stunned, just Pain Suppression. And when you come out, you might have to go ahead and pop Power Word Shield, the Rapture, so you're able to spam that Power Word Shield, and it will help. Again, the enemy team is going to have a Shaman, so he's going to be able to push purge that, so it's going to be very hard for you to keep yourself up. But if you're able to do that while rotating your Shadow Mends and, you know, spamming your Rapture Power Word Shields, you should be good to go. And then for the second go, what you're going to want to try to do to survive is you can either 1, pre-bury it, or 2, trinket. It's one or the other. You don't really necessarily want to trinket and then barrier, just because that's a lot of cooldowns. You want to be able to space it out. So if you do it perfectly for the force setup, you should technically have Rapture up. You might even have it before, or you could have Pain Suppression up as well. Again, pretty big cooldowns, and that's kind of your rotation to be able to survive. Now, you kind of pop Archangel whenever you can. You can pop it at 100% if they're on you. You don't have to wait for like a go, just because, like, you know, a GCD counts for a lot. If you had to pop this when you're like 50% GCD, that you could be dead, because within 1 GCD you can die from 50 to 0, like within a second. So it's very important. You could preemptively pop this. Try to save ultimate radiances when you actually need it. Don't just pop it when you're at 100%. Pop it maybe like when you know, you're literally scared. They have a stun coming up, and you don't have penance, and you're scared to spam Shadow Men. They can't lock out ultimate radiance. So it's very, very, very nice. So again, those are my 3 talents that you can run, and the best comps I suggest you run is probably Jungle and Cupid and RMP. RMP is probably, I know I might get some hate, probably one of the most hardest ones, because it depends totally on your teammates, and normally a lot of teammates aren't very good at Rogue and Mage, just because Rogue and Mage tends to be the harder setup comps. And I know a lot of you might agree with me or disagree with me, but that I find that tends to be the hardest comp for us priests to run, just because people don't know what they're doing. It's a good comp, but people just don't know what they're doing. And another good comp that you can run, that's probably the most face roll one out of all of them, is Jungle, which is Feral, Hunter, Priest. And guys, I tell you what, an 8.1 mm Hunter is going to be amazing. So is Feral, because they're going to have Cyclone. So you're going to have a lot of utility, and you know, this could be one of the strongest comps, guys. Jungle, it already is our strongest comp. It could be even better in the next patch, because, you know, Feral gets Cyclone, and Hunter is going to be amazing. He doesn't have to be, you know, up in their face, like blinding you. So we're going to have a lot of fun. And a third good comp that you can run, and again, is Cupid. I would recommend all 3 of these. They're all very good. Probably the easiest one would have to be Jungle. Probably mid-tier would have to be Cupid. And probably the least favorite of mine is RMP. Again, very debatable. But I tend to find teammates that just simply don't know what they're doing all too well, and you know, yeah, we lose. So these are the talents I run. Again, I think a lot of these talents are very controversial. I find for Disc Priest, there's a lot of things you can actually run. I hear from a lot of top-rated players. They all seem to run different things, and it's actually really cool, because there's not a lot of healers that has a lot of variety like this. Like Rescue Druid is very plain. Rescue Shaman, very plain. Holy Paladin, don't play him, have no idea. Mistweird, don't know. I don't play his classes. Those are snoozer classes. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I'm going to go ahead and pump out some more videos. I'm going to expect to put out some, actually some arena gameplay and me going over it, and some gameplay with, you know, music and stuff like that. So I hope you guys really enjoy this content. I do have a new editor who's going to help me pump out some videos. So I'm very, very excited to see how we go and how we grow together. I hope you guys are excited too. Anyways, guys, get out there and pwn some nubs. Take it easy, brothers. Peace, peace.